Is it even possible for you to wear hijab in the military? If I don't stress anything else in this video, please hear me when I say this. Disclaimer before we get any further into the video, everything that I'm saying in this video is that of my own opinion, that of my own experience, and is me speaking on my own behalf and not the behalf of the Air Force, as I am not qualified to speak on behalf of the Air Force in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Now, with that being said, let's get on with the video. Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Hijab and I am a hijabi in the Air Force, and I figured today is one of the better days to explain how hijab in the military is possible, how hijab in the Air Force is possible, and to hopefully inshallah get some clarity for you / get clarity for any hijabi that is considering the military, because it is a very big decision, especially for someone that isn't sure about it. It's a very big decision, and I know hijab, you know, your faith is a part of that decision, and so I want to make it easy for you. Today we are munching on some matcha, because we don't do nothing without matcha around here, and a cheese Danish. So first things first, can you even wear hijab in the military? Like, is it even permissible? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. And I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna be dropping some gems in this video, so if I were you, I would stick around, because I'm not dropping them at the end. I'm dropping them throughout the video, and I want your life to be as easy as possible, and I want you to get as much clarity as possible if I'm able to bring that to you in whatever capacity. So now, without further ado, because I've rambled on a lot, like this video before you even get started watching it. Subscribe if you find that any of this information resonates with you. And yeah, let's get into the video. I'll love me a good cheese Danish. Before we get started with anything, I want to go ahead and give you the answer. Yes, it is permissible for you to wear hijab in the Air Force, and that is all possible by these things that we have called DAFIs or AFIs. And AFIs are the guidelines for everything that's done that's run in the military. Now, the AFI that's applicable to hijab is under, I think it's AFI or DAFI. Is it a DAFI or AFI? DAFI 362903, which is the dress and appearance. And under chapter 11, 11.4.1 or 11.4.1, that is a DAFI that says that you are able to wear hijab. Hijab is permissible. This is how you wear it, the clothes that you can wear, and whatnot. What I have on now is one of the styles that I wear with the OCP hijab. This is a jersey hijab that closely resembles a uniform, so it is permissible. I'm not gonna lie, me being in uniform, standing in front of a tree, you might not even be able to see me for real, but yeah, this is one of the ways to wear it. Now, different uniforms calls for different styles of hijab, which I'll get into much later in the video. Because I am on my lunch break, I am gonna have to hurry this up, because I do have to be back on base in a minute. Now, wearing hijab in the military and getting it approved and getting it signed on it is a process. Like, you have to talk to people, you have to talk to more people, you have to kind of prove that you're not just doing it to get out of something. Like, this is your faith. This is the process to get a waiver to wear the hijab. How do you go about getting it done? Like, who do you need to talk to? When do you need to talk to them? What all do you need to bring? That's what this step is. This is the process of getting the hijab waiver. Before anything, you have to talk to your recruiter and tell them, like, hey, you know, I am interested in wearing hijab. This is a mandatory item, or it's an obligation upon my religion, and I'm not waiving on it, not now, not ever. After you make it known to them, 9 times out of 10, your recruiter is probably not gonna know what you're talking about, so you're gonna tell them, okay, so boom, I need to talk to the chaplain, because the chaplain is going to know a little bit more about religious accommodations. And if your recruiter is good at their job, they're going to point you in the direction of the religious services / chaplain / accommodations anyway. They're going to just give you paperwork that you need to fill out, basically stating, this is my religion, this is what I need to do, this is my diet, etc., etc. And then after that, you're going to have a phone call / interview with the chaplain. And you're basically going to tell them what your faith is, why do you need to wear it, what does it mean to you, and you kind of just making it known to them, making it aware to them. No. I'm Muslim for real. I'm a hijabi for real. That's basically what that process is. After that, it goes up the chain of command. Your commander has to approve it, and after the commander approves it, you are going to get a waiver / memorandum that basically says, commander signed off on it, these are your accommodations, etc., etc. If I don't stress anything else in this video, please hear me when I say this. Please hear me when I say this. So this is probably the most important part of the hijab waiver, especially before BMT. Make sure you have a copy of it, and make sure that they put it in your BMT folder, application, whatever, before they ship it off to whoever they need to ship it off to for you to go to BMT. It is imperative that you have it. And then even if they even if they did do that part, make sure you have a physical copy so when you get there you can show your instructors. This is my waiver. This is the paper from my commander that says that I can wear this and it's a part of my uniform, because if it's not, unfortunately they can't tell you to take it off. Luckily for me, that was not the case for me. Actually, before I even talk about my case, let's go into my process. Okay, so boom, I started the whole process around November of 2024. Fast forward, I've chosen my job. It is now January 2025, and we're talking about the religious accommodation slash hijab waiver, because she kept telling me like make sure you get a waiver. And shout out to one of my TikTok mutuals, Eunice. He was the one that also like made me aware that I needed a waiver to wear the hijab, because I think there was someone in his unit, he's in the Marines, someone in his unit that had to take it off because she didn't have a waiver. As I'm starting the process, I am talking to the chaplain, or she's saying that I need to talk to the chaplain. My job is January. I didn't talk to the chaplain until April. If you haven't learned by now, everything about the Air Force is hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. And so you know what I did? I hurry up and I waited until April, and then she finally started bringing it back up again, and I finally talked to him. I did an interview over the phone. He basically asked me questions. Why does this mean so much to you? What is this? What does it symbolize? You know, asking me questions to get a better understanding. And then after he felt like I was being truthful, which honestly, if you are being truthful, then you know it's gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen. If you're being honest, if you're like making it, if you're explaining it to a way where like it like has deep value to you, they're gonna take you seriously, and then they're gonna push you up to your command. I'm really fortunate to have a commander that's understanding, you know, saw the value in what was meaningful to me, and so what's it called? He approved it. He approved it. After he approved it, I had to wait for like it to go up the chain of command and come back down, and that took about a month and a half again, and I didn't get it signed off until like mid-June, if I'm not mistaken. But I did just talk to the chaplain again to make sure, like, to get like a reminder, like a refresh on how it happened. And editing Hijab is gonna put that here, the whole process here in detail. Yeah. I have to go back to work, but I do want to share a little bit more about hijab at BMT and whatnot. So the scene is about to change, and I'm probably gonna be in my room or at home or not in uniform anymore. So yeah. Assalamu alaikum guys, we are in my backyard. As y'all can see, the first thing got cut short because I did that on my lunch break. Now we're at home in the comfort of my own house in a different uniform. So I feel like things flow a little bit more naturally, because I was in public when I did that first part, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt a couple of stares, but it is what it is. Now I want to transition into what it was like being a hijabi at BMT, because 9 times out of 10, if you're watching this video, it's before you're actually in the experience. So I'm assuming that you're interested in what it is like being a hijabi in the Air Force, what the experience will be like going to BMT, how to be able to navigate the beginning stages of being a hijabi during this whole process. I want to start off by saying, before I get into being a hijab at BMT, me telling you all this information is not to persuade you or to encourage you to do something that you don't want. Like I said in the beginning, this is a very heavy decision. It's a very heavy choice because it's a commitment. It's a time commitment for one, and for two, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you care about your deen, you care about your akhirah, and we don't know how it's going to affect us. All I know is that this is a decision that I am comfortable with, that I made out of the comfort of my own heart and mind, and that I really prayed for. So this is what works best for me. If you do feel like this video is coercing you or encouraging you to do something that you don't want to do, please click off of this video immediately. I probably should have put this in the beginning, but yeah. Let's go on to being a hijabi at BMT. First and foremost, I just want to start off by saying / reiterating, please have your hijab waiver on you at all times. I don't care if you have to pester your command for it. I feel like that's to bother your supervisors, your recruiter, or anything. It's a must that you have it on you, because without it, it can make your job / your life so much difficult when you get to BMT, because you don't know what kind of experience you're going to be like. You don't know what kind of people you're going to encounter. You don't know who's going to want to help you, who's not going to want to help you. So I strongly advise getting your hijab waiver completed beforehand. In my experience, I had to get another waiver while I was at BMT, but I was fortunate enough to have superiors. That were looking out for me before they even came to me. So they presented the problem to me after they had already solved it, so I didn't really have to do anything. But they did make it known to me / aware to me that it was imperative to my experience for me while at basics training that I kept it on me at all times. It's 2026, so the odds of you encountering someone that's going to tell you to take your hijab off is really slim to none. But if you don't have that slip of paper, then they can't tell you to take it off. Is it right? No. Is it right? No. But that's why I'm stressing onto you to do your due diligence so that you have that golden slip before you even enter Lackland Air Force Base. The next thing that I want to talk about is my experience at basic training as the only hijabi that was in my squadron. I knew going in that it probably wasn't going to be many of me, but alhamdulillah, like, I wasn't really too conscious about that going in. I don't even remember having big worries besides the fact that I was going to be away for 7.5 weeks. Like, that was it. Me being Muslim, me being hijabi, me even praying at BMT was not something that I really thought too deeply about. Praying, I definitely did. I talked to my recruiter about it. I talked to the chaplain about it. I was fortunate enough to have another Muslim that worked at my base, and I asked them about it. And I'm also fortunate enough to have a friend who is a hijabi at she wasn't at BMT, she went into the Air Force before me, that kind of explained to me how they did it. But if y'all want a video on praying while at BMT, that is something I can do in another video, because this video I want to strictly focus on hijab. One thing I will say, with me being the only hijabi at the squadron that I was in, was that I took pride in it, and it made me noticeable. I was the only one that covered their hair, only one that looked like me, so it was really easy to spot me out in a group full of people. And I didn't take that lightly, because one thing about me, I'm gonna always wear the fact that I'm a physical representation of a Muslim with pride and with happiness. With that comes a lot of responsibility and making sure that you look good, that you stay sharp, you're on top of everything, so you don't give people an excuse or a reason to think of you or Islam negatively. Right? Some of the things that a lot of people said to me were that I was very energetic, I was very hardworking, I always brought good energy into the room. I did what I was supposed to do to the best of my ability. Did I falter here and there? I did. But one thing about me, one thing you cannot say, was that I was not sharp and I was not on it. So much so that they gifted me the privilege to be in the front on graduation day, and that is not an easy thing to do, because there's only 4 positions where you can get picked to be in the front. Only 4 positions, and I was one of them. I got fired, actually, in the beginning. I got fired from that job, which is called an element leader. That's how you get in the front. You have to become an element leader to get in the front. I was an element leader. I got fired, but I was so hardworking. What's the word? Persistent in being good. I was so dedicated to what I was doing in the moment, so motivating to those around me, that they gave me the privilege of becoming an element leader once more. So if you think nobody's watching you, I promise you everyone is watching you. And the amount of people, subhanAllah, I didn't even realize like I was really out like that. The amount of people that said, oh, I remember you from this, I remember you from that, or we went here together. After I got out from my videos, I'm like, wow, like y'all actually remember me? That's crazy. One of my homegirls that I went to tech school with posted a video of us, I believe, and someone responded back and was like, oh my goodness, I met her at XYZ and she was so sweet to me. Part of it is my character, but other part of it is my religion. So I'm saying all this to say that how you act matters, because one, you're still representing Islam, and 2, I feel like it's an even bigger responsibility, an even bigger notice, because you wear the hijab. Like, you really got to be on your stuff, being good at what you do, being just 10. Like, there is no room for failure. There's no room for failure ever, no matter who you are, what you do, how you look. But especially as a hijab, there's really no room for failure. Also, I would say that if anything, you have to be more adamant and more persistent about getting things done than the average person, because your instructors are not going to go looking for something for you. They're not going to go chasing behind anybody for you, unless it's somehow bettering them. Like, for instance, with praying, like I said, I'm going to talk about this more in detail in that video, but with praying, for instance, they wasn't going to come and tell me what time my prayer time was. No, they wasn't going to go find the qibla for me. No, I had to do that. I had to be on them about getting it done for me. So with that being said, with the hijab, be on them about getting things done for you. For instance, the change times. Your change times are going to be a little bit harder to navigate because you have extra layers of clothing. So for instance, in the mornings, right, before anybody comes into the room, the people that are on the EC stand, which is like, I think like guards, for the night, they're gonna come around and make sure everyone is decent. They're gonna ask, is everyone decent? Is everyone decent? It's up to you to speak up for yourself and say, hey, no, give me a minute, I have to put my hijab on. And once you do that for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, the people around you are gonna understand the gravity of making sure that you put your hijab on. Because there was some instances where I wasn't ready. I didn't have my scarf on. I wasn't properly clothed. Like, I probably went to sleep in shorts that day instead of Tyson shorts or pants or anything like that, right? Because you have to sleep in your PT uniform. I had to run into the bathroom, or I had to tell them, like, hey guys, give me a minute or two. And sometimes it's gonna be hard because you're gonna have the instructors banging on the door, knocking, why is it taking so long, why does it take so long, etc., etc. But if you don't speak up for yourself, no one is gonna, that doesn't give any, like, that you're not giving people around you a reason to speak up for you, or to, what's the word, to basically take you serious. I can't think of the word right now. I don't know what's going on with my vocabulary. Like, I really need to fix that, because I've been on my team, but not in a good way. Not in a good way. But yeah, I'm saying that all that to say that you speaking up for yourself is crucial. It is imperative that you find that out now, you learn that now, because every part of your journey, whether you are in the military or whether you're not in the military, you just being hijabi, you just being Muslim, is you speaking up for yourself, especially if you live in the West, especially if you live in America, because we're the minority. We're the 1%. We're the minority. That's really all I can say. It's important, it's imperative, it's crucial that you speak up for yourself and you learn that skill now, because it's only going to help you and make your experience at BMT easier. I want to go back to the change times, because as a hijabi, especially if you're going like around the summer schedule, is kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, because you're wearing extra layers and it's hot. It's so hot. I would suggest that you find a routine for yourself early. So for instance, right, whenever we did PT, or whenever I checked the schedule and I knew that we had PT in the mornings, I would wear, what would I wear? Oh, I would wear tights and I would go to sleep in a long sleeve. So I wouldn't go to sleep in the PT uniform. After lights out, I would take whatever I had on off. I would put on tights and a long sleeve shirt. Fell out for PT in the mornings. Could just slip on the shorts and slip on the top while not really and covering your outer and stuff like that. Definitely suggest in the habit of preparing your things the night before and just going to the restroom in the morning, because you only have a certain amount of time to change. Like, sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 8 minutes, and it might seem like a long time until you're there and you have to put on all those layers, take off all those layers. On top of that, you still have your hijab, right? So these are things I suggest you practice before you get there, or be really quick about getting the hang of it. And I'm sorry, I keep saying getting the habit of navigating that really early on, because it'll only make it easy for you. Because for me, it took me maybe 2-3 weeks to figure out how to navigate the change times and what works for me, what doesn't work for me, especially when it comes to wudu and all the layers of clothing that I had on. So I definitely suggest getting that down packed early, because it'll only make everything easy for you. I would suggest that you get comfortable explaining the importance of hijab, because there's a lot of people that you're going to meet at basic training and in life in general that don't know what hijab means. They still think of hijab as oppression. They still think of it as something that is just not true, and you can't fault them for it, because people only know what they know and they don't know what they don't know. So take it as an opportunity to spread dawah, to just educate people on what it really is, because who knows, you teaching them that then is probably going to make it easier for the next hijabi that they come across. Like for me, I take it very seriously. I take giving dawah and encouraging people and informing people and teaching people very seriously, because one, I'm going to be held accountable for it on Yom Kiyama, and two, I don't want to further perpetuate the narrative of what hijab isn't. You feel me? I need you to know what it is, and what better way to do that than telling them as a person that's a little, just a smidgen knowledgeable, okay? I'm not the most knowledgeable person in the world, but I have been wearing hijab for many years now. I have been Muslim my whole life. Now, alhamdulillah, I've been afforded the privilege to be pretty active and pretty engaged and be pretty informed on my religion for the past couple of years. So I take it very seriously. I actually wrote this down the other day. Ooh, hold on. be very particular and very picky about the words that you use when you're informing people and teaching people about hijab, about Islam, about anything, because first impression really sticks. The first impression sticks, okay? And why not take the opportunity to set a good foundation for the next person to build off of, the next Muslim to build off of, the next hijabis to build off of? Yeah. Boom. The next piece of advice that I have is to talk to the chaplain within the first 3 days of you being there. And listen to me when I say this, because you are in your right frame of mind right now. That first week, zero week and week 1 at BMT are the hardest weeks because you're in such a stressful environment. And one thing they're going to tell you is that it is intentionally stressful. Basic military training was built to put all this stress on you, because that is what the military is. It's a stressful environment, and especially if you are sent out on a deployment or on a TDY to a place that is really stressful. Really stressful. You have to make sure they weed out the weak ones early so that they're not investing time into a person that can't handle it. So think of that now, and think of that going in. You're going to be stressed and it's going to be hard and people are going to yell at you. But I need you to stay strong and find the courage to talk to your instructors and tell them what you need so that they can work with you. And you need to go talk to the chaplain, because they're the ones that are going to help bridge the gap between you and your instructor, because you might tell them something and they might not understand, but it comes from the chaplain, they may receive it better. It's like your friend is like, okay, if I ask my mom to spend the night, she gonna say no, but if you ask her if you could spend the night, she gonna say yes. Think of it kind of like that. I went in with the mindset that no matter what I do, no matter what I ask, no matter how much I mess up, they can't touch me. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can touch you. With that being said, nobody is going to touch you or hate you or beat you or anything like that if you ask for accommodations because of your religion. That's me kind of touching on praying without really touching on praying. And yeah, I also suggest reading up on the AFI before you go there. I listed it earlier in this video. Read up on the AFI on how you can wear it, what colors you can wear, how you can wear it, and whatnot. Some materials that I suggest getting for PT, I suggest getting the light exercise type hijabs. My mom actually shipped me some. She actually mailed me some during basic training. It didn't get there until like week 5, but it is what it is. You're mainly going to do PT for the week 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have your last PT test during week 5. And week 6, you might do a road run or something. Week 5, you might do 1 road run or 2 road runs, but you're not exercising too much after the week 5 PT test. So I still suggest getting it, because you're, for the majority of the time while you're there, you're gonna be exercising. So I suggest that. I suggest getting a black hijab and a green hijab and kind of interchanging those, and a tan one if you can find it. I also suggest getting a really lightweight, like undercap type style, black hijab or navy blue hijab for your blues. For my blues, I wore like it was like, okay, so boom. My workout hijab, it was a 2-piece. It had like the thin one, and then it had the breathable material on top. I used to wear the undercap for my blues, and I really loved it because it was so sleek. It was so slim. It fit under my blues, because with your blues, you're kind of wearing layers, and it can be uncomfortable, especially on your neck, because you have to tie the neck part up. So I suggest getting a real thin like hijab for that, or getting the ninja type undercap. Get the ninja type undercap and then wear a chiffon hijab over it, because like I said, the blues can be really, really thick, especially if you're going in the winter and you have to wear your dress coat, your service coat, and the tie tab and whatnot. So lighter materials for your blues for sure. You get your blues the 4th week of training, the 3rd or 4th week of training if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the 3rd week of training you get your blues. And you wear blues on the day of your graduation, the first and second day of your graduation. No. Yeah, the first and second day of your graduation. So yeah, make sure you bring a good number of, like a good range of material, because you never know what to expect, especially when it comes to the heat and whatnot, because Lackland gets hot for us. I went in October, I got out in December. It didn't start getting hot, it didn't start getting cold until November 30th, December 1st. So it gets pretty hot. It's pretty hard, so I would definitely suggest bring a range, but I wouldn't bring too many hijabs, just because you have to wash them, do laundry, and you're doing laundry constantly, you don't want to have 5 to 6 hijabs that you're constantly keeping track for, because you're re-wearing the same ones. So don't make it hard for yourself. Don't make it hard for yourself. I suggest bringing about 2 or 3. 3 is really like the good number. I'll even say 4. I'll say 4. Bring like 2 black Bring like 2 black black English. Bring 2 to 3 black/green/tan hijabs for your uniform, because the green uniform is gonna be the one that you wear most of the time. And I will also suggest bringing 1 navy blue hijab. Navy blue hijab. And the navy blue one you can wear with your PT uniform at night / when you're working out, or you can wear it with your blues, so that gives you a little bit of leeway with that. But also you can wear the black hijab with your PT uniform, with your OCP, your green work uniform, and your blues, so that gives you option there. And then one workout hijab, because you're not working out that often, and if anything, you're never gonna work out every single day of the week. I don't think there was ever an instance where we did that. We worked out every other day. Yeah, pretty sure we worked out every other day. Or you're not gonna do heavy workouts every day of the week. Let me say that. You're not gonna do heavy workouts every day of the week. So you have time. And y'all do laundry like every other day. So you really do. I really think 4 is like a good number. 3 to 4 is like a really good number. And you should be good. You should be good. I feel like I said everything that I need to say. I want to say one of the biggest takeaways from this video is to, 1, not be scared. Do not be scared, because when you have Allah on your side, what is there to really be scared of, okay? 2, I would say keep in mind that you may be the first hijabi that a lot of people encounter, and take that as a privilege and as a blessing and as an honor, because you get to set the foundation of what this one person now knows to be Muslim, and that is going to pave the way for future Muslims that they meet, inshallah. Like when a person has a bad experience with a business, and now every franchise within that business now has a sour taste in that person's mouth because of that one business. You don't want to be the business that leaves a sour taste in that person's mouth for other franchises to come. I hope that makes sense. The last thing I would say is to please keep your memorandum, keep your waiver on you at all times. If I could tell pre-BMT me anything about the hijab, I would tell her continue to have the same mindset of, if I need this done, don't stop until I get it done. If I need this accommodation, do not stop. Do not take no for an answer until I get that thing done. Because if there is a will, there's a way. There's a will, there's a way. Now, if y'all have any questions about the hijab that I did not answer, please drop them in the comments so I can get back to you, or another imam can get back to you, inshallah. Like I said before, this is a very hard decision. Joining the Air Force, joining the Navy, joining the Army, joining any military branch, especially in the United States as Muslims, is a hard decision, and I want you to be as informed as possible before you make it. I don't want my decision to reflect on you in any way. I don't want you to take my decision as your own, because my decision is my decision, and only I know why I really chose the Air Force and why I really chose the military as a Muslim and as a hijab, and I would like for you to do the same, but on your own accord. Like I said in the beginning, none of what I said in this video is a representation or me trying to speak on behalf of the United States Air Force, but for me to speak for myself and my experience as a hijabi woman in the U.S. military. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this gave you a little bit more clarity. But yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, or whatever the people be saying, and hopefully this video makes it to the light of day, inshallah. Bye.